mistakes, I know I lied. I should have noticed, yeah, I should have tried. And all the loving that I just ignored, I'm gonna revive it. I'm gonna revive it. I know I made mistakes, I know I lied. I should have noticed, yeah, I should have tried. And all the loving that I just ignored, I'm gonna revive it. 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 I want to know you, but I don't know how. 'Cause every time I bump right into you, I get all tongue-tied. Want you to know me, but I'm way too shy. I can't just go around admitting that it's you I like. I wish that
All right, mic test. How is everyone doing?
We are so happy to see you all.
I know it's been a while.
I know.
A month with only one?
Yeah.
Anyway, let us know. Hi, Lee. Let's see who we got in here. Mimiko Minis, Michelle Murphy, Stream Elements, Dolly Girls Pancakes, Smart Doll Sewing with Joe,
Stephanie Carbno is here.
Wolf, Sarah, Hanako, Danielle Duvall, Milo and Toast and Me, and Tempest Strive, and Kanal.
Kanal is here. Cannot forget Kanal.
The star of the show, if you will. Hi, Dee Dee. All right. We will,
Piano Nomad.
Hanako.
We're just shouting out everybody's names.
Trading names, all
So
right.
you want your name shouted out, you gotta say something.
Well, yeah, until I hit this mute button. We got a little bit of time. Oh, no. No yawning. It's too soon for this.
Mika 7, hi.
Oh no, it's still happening. I need something. I'm gonna be like overcompensating tonight, I think.
Lee, no, we didn't see your Coco Chi. I don't think, well, at least I didn't. I don't know if John did or not. He just walked into the kitchen. I'm not sure, getting a drink or something. Just me and Miranda hanging out at the moment. Miranda finally put on that floral bikini that I waited so long for and finally got and have never used. Lee, did you get, is it original Coco or is it, the new Coco? Oh, Kat did a chi for you. Okay. Kat did a chi for Lee.
Oh, cool.
A Coco Chi. Coco Chi.
Kat's getting quite good at the Coco face up.
Yeah, she enjoys them.
All right. Lee, we're going to not do a Q&A tonight. We'll announce in the beginning of the show, but just so you aren't looking for the thing to get posted.
We may take a few questions during the stream, but the plan is to maybe go to Discord at the end?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Maybe.
No, it was... Forget it. It's going on mute. Thank you, Michelle.
You can get yours on the website.
All right, 3 minutes. Going back on mute and giving you the cute. Ah, see what I did there?
You catch more Smarties with honey than you do with vinegar.
Or long strings of expletives.
It's Monday, July 10th, and this is your Smart Doll News. Hi!
Welcome back, everybody. It's been a little bit. We were off last week because we were sick.
Ugh, so sick.
Still recovering. And Danny, I mean, there wasn't really much going on anyway. And then, of course, I was traveling, and so we've had like one in the last month, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's weird to us.
Very strange. So glad to see you. thanks for spending your Monday evening with us. We are going to try something a little bit different tonight. Hopefully this helps a couple of things. We'd like to, instead of doing Q&A at the end of the show, which I'm not sure, well, we'll see how many people actually stay for it, but usually it's like repeat questions or just getting to know us kind of stuff. So if there's an important question, make sure you mention it during the show. For tonight and after the show, we're going to be hanging out on the Discord server so that we can actually talk to you and not just be a one-way sort of thing. So join us for Q&A after the show on the Discord, which is there. Check us out at myladydisdain.com/Discord.
This is a good time to get to know Discord too. So just get yourself in, get into the Court of Disdain, and everyone will tell you where to go, and you'll get started on Discord if you're not familiar.
Yep, should be a link in the chat as well as a link in the description as well. So that was too many as well. So you've got plenty of time. Check it out. We will also, of course, like to thank our super smarties this week.
We had W. Corden and Cyril Simoni.
Thank you so much for helping maintain the channel. And we also have our Discord subscribers.
Our mascots are Angel Kitty, Baggins Lover, Geek Squeaks, and Tyler Like No Otter.
We've got our sponsors with Agarva, Busy Bee, Bizbot, Redhead's Ramblings, and Tempest Strife.
And we're nothing without our cheerleaders, which is currently Celestial Styles, Alaska.
Thank you all again, all of you from subscribing on Discord and giving us super chats and things like that are really helping keep the channel going, and we appreciate every moment of it. So, I think all my transitions have
disappeared on you.
Disappeared. Yay, updating. But otherwise, things seem to be working. So. Shall we get into it?
I think we should.
All right. So let's start with the trip.
Okay.
Danny and the team went on vacation to Malaysia. Which I want to go back here. I just love every single face in this photo.
They're all happy.
They're all happy.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some sass going on there too. Like I'm just personality is really coming out. It's nice to see. You've got them riding around, like they are enjoying, as he said, the noms in Malaysia, which I would love to actually know. Like what is Malaysian food typically like? Difference between that and like Japanese or other Asian, that we're more familiar with.
Well, I think that there's there's probably variations, but I think that there's a lot of different cultures in Malaysia. I'm pretty sure. So there's probably a lot of different kinds of food.
Yeah. Thank you, Barbie Witch. Barbie Witch says, I super chatted before it was cool. That you did, and we do appreciate it. We've got, so let's take a pic here. Wifey. So I think this whole post is just all food.
People getting food in different places, different way. Oh, we got some Smarties out there.
Yep. And let's take a look. We've got some more pics here. We've got this is Cyber Transcendence.
Oh yeah, and that looks like the that's the shirt, like the Mori Girls shirt in gray.
Mm-hmm.
That looks really cool.
Better look at the food. That looks spicy and lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I love the I'm assuming temple, like the temple architecture in Malaysia is very cool.
Yep.
Drinking out of coconuts.
Yeah, that looked very refreshing.
Yeah. And they went out on a catamaran tour. I believe he said some stayed on land. Because they had loved ones in country.
Well, I mean, I don't know if Danny does or not, but I mean, he's Chinese Malaysian,
right,
in his background.
He said they definitely enjoyed going out in the catamaran. We went out on one of these in Jamaica, and I actually got in the water. And I think that's the last time I'll go in like the ocean. Oh my goodness, it was so strong. Yeah. It doesn't look it when you're out there, but like when you actually get in the water, it takes a lot of strength to keep yourself going. Another shot, we've got this is Coco Who. Who are you? We've got like a lavendery. Is that almost like a Chi-eye? But without the... Is that Timeless? Oh, it could be. I always get Timeless confused. Like for some reason, I'm like, she's never like easily identifiable for me. And this is Starlight, right? Yeah, Kat says it's Timeless and Coco. Yeah. Thank you, Kat. Yeah, like cute pair. It's so funny. Like, I want that wig. Yeah. That's basically what it's like a silvery lavender. But and that crop is fabulous. Yeah, I don't know who if that is actually a CJ wig or if that is like they got it from somewhere else. That's a Vignette wig. Yeah, it looks like Vignette's wig, but in like silvery lavender and not so heavy. Like her Vignette's wig is pretty thick. It's a lot of the typical. Wigs from Culture Japan have a lot less weight in them, which is generally good for this scale. And they're riding out. This looks like a lot of fun. The Barbie witch says that she has wifey's hair. That is brilliant. Now I have to go back and we have to do a comparison. Okay. There's Coco Timeless. She's there, but her hair's a little wet. She doesn't quite have the full bob going, but yes, it's that sort of slight. It's really interesting. It depends on. I think there's like a color cast. I think I am seeing a lavender hue to this. I think it's not there. It's probably not. It's probably just gray, but it's very cool. Like silver. Yeah. So it looks like they had a lot of fun, and they're back now. They are coming back, refreshed and ready to go. The store has already been open for since middle of last week. The online store, yep. So they're taking orders again, and so be sure to get your orders in now if you have been waiting since they went on vacation. Yeah, I was actually surprised when he made the announcement that things were opening back up. I was like, are they back? I think they were, or they were They were almost back. They were, like they were coming back tomorrow, and basically he was going to allow a day or two or whatever his buffer time is to let orders come in and pile up a little bit. But I doubt it's much. It might have been like the day before, knowing the way orders tend to pile up. Although, if it's mostly the frontline girls, they are slower sellers anyway. Right. So here we have, speaking of frontline girls, here we have somebody who you can't see yet. Thank you. Here we have Not Everything to Everyone, and there is something a little special about her right now. Yeah, she has a scar from like a heart surgery, which is very cool. And we've seen a look at this recently, like in the past, like where they were building it. Yeah, but now it looks like behind the scenes photos. Yep, now it looks like it's actually done. And that's another very cool thing, because I mean that does leave a rather noticeable scar, and I think that's really cool.
I mean, there's probably a lot of people who don't want to wear like lower cut shirts or something like that because that scar will show.
Yeah.
And this is great for them.
This is very cool. I did mention, some of you may remember that I got Fortitude for my sister who, when she had heart surgery, and I mentioned, I was like, hey, this is coming. She wasn't really into it. But you know, I don't think she's wholly like necessarily gotten into the doll or like feels the need for the representation itself.
Right. She likes the doll. I mean, you know, when we were there, she changed her clothes and put her back. She stands on the piano. She treats her more like, I think, an art object than anything else.
But yeah, she, like, you know, representing her in this way is didn't seem to be something she was interested in, but I think a lot of people will be. I definitely do. Let's see if there's any other good pictures in here. She just looks so good.
Yeah. Not everything to everyone is very pretty.
Yeah, so let us know if you know if you're willing. You know, is this something, you know, is this something that's going to represent you and how you feel about it? We'd love to hear from you if you're interested. He did say that, and the one thing he did say about this was he also specified that if you've had the heart surgery or if you are a caregiver for someone basically that has had the heart surgery, that you can get this bust, which is very cool. Yeah, I love that he's still giving away these, you know, for free for the people that it matters to. So that's so good. All right, let's take a look next up. Okay, so we had heard about this. Yep. Danny was doing the experimentations and making the metallic frames, right? And the metallic frames, unfortunately, didn't really work out. So they basically did 1 or 2 batches, limited run, and that's it. So they started working on a different frame for like the prosthetics. Yep. And they came up with a new color, black blue, and apparently have gone so far as to make vinyl for this, or the full vinyl body. It looks so good. I gotta say, like, this is, I mean, I know its color is going to be even tougher on this, like the pigmentation, the paint, and things like that. I mean, you can see it here. The red is really deep in a very subtle tone. It's more, actually looks like shadows more than it looks like color. Yeah. Well, which is, I guess, what makeup is really supposed to do, but, well, not blushing. Right. But this, so I can see the problems, or I should say challenges, that you might have getting colors to really pop on this. But it looks so good, and I want to see, like, I legitimately want some girls in this color. Like, I'm more excited about this than I was about the gray. Okay, so there's 2 things that I want from this color. Okay. I want maybe an AG sculpt, because, you know, everybody's gonna be like, oh, Sandy wants a boy. I need me some Nightcrawler in my life. I need a Kurt Wagner smart doll. Or Wagner, I should say. Yes, Wagner. Kurt Wagner is my husbando from, like, way back. Yeah, it's like your first, like, comic. Is this, wait, was he your first comic crush, or was he your first crush? My first comic crush. Okay. Yeah, he was my first comic book crush. I had totally had a thing for Nightcrawler. I just thought he was, like, the best. And I need a Kurt Wagner smart doll. Mine was Gambit, but yours was Gambit. I was just, I was a sucker for. Well, I was a sucker for. It was the cartoon, the '90s X-Men cartoon Gambit. I was a sucker for the Louisiana, the like, really bad, thick, bad. He's really bad. But I didn't understand that as a child. But at the same time, I was also, this is the time when the Gabriel Knight games, which were adventure games from post the Sierra Network in the 90s timeframe that were originally done with Tim Curry doing a Louisiana accent.
Okay.
Like I don't know. It's something about Louisiana. Anyway, little info about John.
So Nightcrawler is one. The other thing I want is Future with yellow freckles.
Okay.
And yellow eyes.
Okay. Yeah, just go like real, like don't try to be natural about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, very much along the way. He has pointed out, that Mystique was sort of implanted. Like she's a little bit dark. The black blue is a little bit dark for Mystique. Maybe even for
it's dark for Nightcrawler, but it's Nightcrawler in the shadows.
Yeah,
so it works.
Yeah, in the end, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. And then D-Force on Twitter said, hear me out, Mystique Kitty, and mocked up.
Which is awesome.
A blue prowess. It's going to look great.
And he actually said, we may have to do this. Like, basically, he liked it.
So, what has he actually officially said about this stuff? So they are they have an initial prototype inspired by Mystique, and are going to develop another one based on the prowess mock-up. And they have a lot more experimenting to do for color. Mm-hmm. As I mentioned, color is going to be a tough thing. Bright, like white, yellow, like things like that are going to be stand out. So with this black navy color, he is saying that if they go to production, that they will have a limited initial batch, and that's because of all the other stuff we're working on. Right. So here we have a list, an updated list,
priority list. Yep.
So pair body. Great. It's what we currently expect. Mm-hmm. He is focusing on that, followed by the new guy's body. Mm-hmm. So still coming. And then the pocket doll. And then he says, followed by ... I mean, what the Smart Doll Plus.
Yep.
There's a whole bunch of other stuff. It doesn't really matter. Like, that's a lot.
Yep.
Like, that's a huge chunk of development.
Like telling us that's a long period of time getting all of that done. Now, granted, he has said to us, he has told us that these things are all leading one into the other. The pair body has led to more development on the boys, has led to more development on the pocket doll.
Yeah, all things Danny says are subject to change. Like, that's
right.
Like, no matter what, things can accelerate, things could change. He could hit a snag somewhere, just like we ended up with this random new color because of a problem they ran into with the metallic frame. So you just never know. I think, I haven't talked this through, but I'm going to look into, maybe we could try and keep a page up on smartdollguru.com, which I'll just throw up here, I guess. Keep a page up on smartdollguru.com and do like what the current projects that Danny is working on, like not just like here's dolls in development, mm-hmm. but like these big things.
Right.
So yeah, if you want to keep track of that, track of the dolls for now, but we're gonna find more ways to expand this and make this better. And if you have any feedback for us, definitely drop us a line on Discord. But check out smartdollguru.com. And while you're at it, I think we should probably hey!
Oh, hey!
Hi Mirai. That must mean it's time to give this video a like. And that'll help us get it out to more people and spread the word around and build the community bit by bit, and which it just keeps going. I mean, the Discord community is growing every week.
Yep.
I just love to see all the conversation in there. I will mention the the alerts are like off and on, like working. Let's actually take a second and talk about Twitter for a minute.
Yeah, let's do that.
So the Twitter announcements, the Twitter account is where Danny does all the announcements. We have ways to basically bots and things that take from the Twitter API and pull those into Discord for us, and then you can get alerts there as well. Twitter has been doing a lot of stupid stuff lately. A lot of, like, even outside of this, but the charging for things, they're massively throttling API usage. They're throttling people's, like, just general reading of Twitter. Like, you're not allowed to read past a certain point, unless you pay more. So there's a lot of stupid stuff happening. There is, last week, Facebook, or I should say Meta, and Instagram, the Instagram company within Meta, launched the Instagram Threads app, which essentially is Twitter for your Instagram account. It seems to be getting a lot of attention. I don't know how quickly any sort of API access will open up for it, but if it does, I don't know. We might see Danny start to move things over to that. We also then have Danny has put out the option in the past of doing like a Discord sort of news feed, which I think would be technically more reliable. But something that would be more reliable would be nice, because Twitter is blah.
I did set up my threads, by the way. I haven't made any threads yet, but my account is there. So it's the same as the Instagram. So if you want to add us for that, pretty easy to do.
Yeah. So we'll see what Danny does. I know he has his eye on it. Like, he's already poking around at Threads. Hopefully that could be a good replacement. And it's something then that we could get in reliably into the Discord server. I don't know if there were a way for Danny to easily, without increasing his effort too much, post to like Twitter and Discord, that would be amazing, because we can actually, like, if there's like an official even like a small like private server or something that he has, you can subscribe to other servers and have them put to your server,
right? So
we can actually like duplicate the news into the Court of Disdain server. So I don't know. It's we'll see. It's still a problem. It seems to kind of go up and down as far as its the abrasiveness of that problem.
But it's not us. We haven't done anything to it. It just has to do with Twitter and how things are working.
I came back from vacation and realized like there hadn't been like an update in there in like a week or something like that. Or not vacation. I wasn't vacationing in Spain. But I came back from my trip and I was like, there's been nothing. Like, this is bad.
So the other thing I'm thinking about social media is we probably should just make a brief like public service announcement about what Sarah messaged you about the other day.
Yeah. So apparently, I don't have any other information other than what was told me. Apparently, a screen grab of our unboxing of Milk Melody was used in a sale to try and scam somebody into thinking that they had Milk Melody. I don't know. We tend to try and keep our screen as clear as possible for stuff. And quite honestly, if I put another, like, there's already the subscribe thing from YouTube down there. If I put the My Lady Disdain logo up or something like that, they can just be cropped,
And we use high enough resolution that if they do that, they crop it. Yeah. They can still use the photo and it'll still look like they took a picture. Yeah. There's really not much we can do about that.
Again, what I will always say is ask for, do the typical thing of asking for a current picture with like your name
and the date,
your name and the date on there. So that it's a fresh picture on there. I would also say Oh, this is going to be a mess. But actually, I don't think it's... No, it's not. It's not on. I'm not going to do it. But you can sort of see it here. Our background with the big rows and the dots and everything like that is behind all our current stuff.
Right.
And so if you see that, that is a pretty obvious thing. So not much. I don't think there's much that we can do or that would really help it. But just to spread awareness.
Saying I think a transparent watermark is still a good idea, though. Well, I mean, we just can't have a watermark going on all the time, can we?
There are ways. Again, we technically have one. There's a watermark through YouTube on there. It's just how many watermarks.
Right, and they can still unless we put it like right on top, they can still crop around it.
Right. So I don't know. It's depending on. It has to be put on there differently depending on the whether it's an edited video versus a live stream. It can be done in the live stream. But yeah, like our current mat on the table is our logo color and has an elements of our logo on it. And those of you who watch us all the time are going to recognize it immediately. Sarah did. Yeah.
So if you see it, say something. Yep. We're not likely to use screen grabs from our videos to sell things. So that's not going to happen.
Now, we will always take fresh pictures.
Yeah, we might say you can go back and look at the unboxing of this, but this is what she looks like currently. But yeah, we wouldn't be likely to do that. So if you guys see it, say it, basically. It's something we'll says or wear more merch. It doesn't really help when you do top down.
When you do top down,
yeah. Everybody else, we do a lot of top down, which makes an opportunity for people to steal our images.
Again, even just putting a frame around things and having it literally is just 10 more pixels in and they crop it out. It will add very little. I'll put things on there if I feel that it helps branding wise. But anyway, we're rabbit holing on this stuff. Just protect yourself. Always look for current pictures. I mean, it doesn't. To me, it doesn't matter to us other than I feel bad if anybody gets scammed, but it's not. And if anyone buys it thinking they bought it and then maybe we can't sell it because they don't think, but I can always prove we have it. That's the thing. I can always prove we have a thing.
I would say, smartdoll Sewing with Joe says, this is kind of scary for people with unboxings up. It's yeah, but there are not that many of us that do unboxings that have photos that people could pass off as I took these photos to sell the doll.
Probably, yeah.
There aren't that many. There are a few, but there aren't that many.
All right. We have one last story tonight. So let's before we dig into that, we're actually going to break in the middle here. Before we do our last story, let's do this. We came to party all night long. Let's sing along to every song. We don't need nobody's attention, don't need nobody else in our zone.
We came to party all night long and sing along to every song. We don't need nobody's attention, don't need nobody else in our We came to party all night long and sing along to every song. We don't need nobody's attention, don't need nobody else in our zone. Making plans up as we go, worried as when no one knows just how we want it. We want it. Going left, going right.
All right. Gotta love the Smarty Party.
Yep, and that was a longer one this week too. So
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what happens when we...
when we're away,
when
right?
we're away. So let's get back into our final story of the evening. And again, for those who missed the beginning, we will not be taking Q&A at the end, but we are going to be hanging out in Discord, and you can ask whatever you want there.
Yep.
So we will, yeah, let's do this. All right, so this is sort of the lead-in to the story. This is another one of Danny's responses to somebody, I think emailing him in this case, a pretty expletive-laden email.
Yeah,
about...
it was not only was it full of expletives, it was full of threats.
Oh yeah,
basically.
Yeah. There was death threats. There was like
ill wishes anyway, not threat. They were saying that they hope that they got.
What? Okay, when you wish somebody dead, that's as far as I consider that a death threat.
Yeah.
Whether they're going to harm them or not, I don't know whether legally that amounts to anything. Anyway, I didn't want to actually get into that, but the gist of it is a complaint about the Australia ban. So, Sandy, can you take us through what was the deal again with Australia and the ban?
There were so many chargebacks going on, and like from new customers and stuff, saying that they didn't want to pay the customs fees, they weren't expecting this. So they end up sending the merchandise ends up going back to Danny
and costing Danny a bunch of money.
It cost Danny a bunch of money, and he has a thing about not sending dolls that have been returned out to other customers, even if they were never touched, if they never came out of the box. He just has it's a superstitious thing, I guess. They become like workshop dolls.
Yeah,
basically.
right.
They get their displays in the building, and he won't send them out. So that's money lost there, as well as the cost of getting the doll ready and shipping it, etc., and so forth. And we lose because that's another doll that's not available.
Right. That's another body that could have been available for somebody else.
Yeah.
So he cut off new customers from ordering from the site. Current customers could.
Yep.
And this person was like, really, really pissed off about it. Again, Danny sort of explains once again, and I love the response basically because they were like, "Oh, I'm so glad that like dolls like the Nier Automata 2B went to Volks and not you." And he was like, I'm glad they're making it.
Yeah.
Like, it's fantastic.
And then bringing in an artist like, I think it was Deep Forest Dolls, was the artist that was brought in. Like you know, I'm glad that I can get a customized blah 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 from Deep Forest Dolls because, you know, because I can't get them from you, I can just go and get a nice doll from them or whatever.
Well, I specifically think he said that this particular, you know, customizer made better face-ups than Danny did. And
yeah.
Like, great. Like,
I mean, and they are good, but it's a shame that they got brought into
this
argument where I'm sure they were probably like completely, like, I would have gone completely gray-faced pale over seeing my name mentioned with all of this.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's you weren't doing anybody, especially yourself, any favors.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened, and then the last day or so, Danny came out with this. He says, as you may already know, we currently have a ban on all first-time orders from Australia. This is due to the high volume of chargebacks, blah, blah, blah. Some first-time customers from Australia have been finding alternative ways to get their hands on smartdoll goodies. Accessing these goodies through these, quote, backdoor methods is relatively simple, and the screenshot provided shows one such example we regularly encounter. So let's look at the screenshot with their permission. Somebody emailed Danny and basically said, you know, I'm so sorry. I hate that, like, people are someone's at the door.
Gonna step away for a moment.
Okay.
Live streaming at the moment. Sorry. Bye.
And the dog is going nuts.
Yeah, just somebody that wanted to talk to us about something on our house.
What time is it? That's awfully late for soliciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you probably have read this by now. You know, basically they were respectful. They said they were actually pretty humorous. And then Danny responded with, loved your email, so you are approved. Place an order with good to go ticket, blah, something. We will still send you a confirmation email that needs to, like, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So basically, Danny, it looks like, has been handing out access to individuals that he approves personally.
I mean, what do I keep saying? Don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you have to do. Don't be a jerk.
Yeah, one way you get access, you know, to dolls, and the other way you get yourself customer serviced over Twitter.
Yeah, right. It's just, I don't know. You know, Agarva said it was embarrassing for us Aussies, and it's like, you know, I think everybody realizes that it wasn't all the Australians. Like, it was just something that Danny had to do. It's just like, you know, like, as Americans, we get compared to a lot of things, and or we get a lot of things thrown in at us as it's just Americans. Like, just the whole thing with the orders, like, being set up to be at the right time for Americans, for the U.S., you know?
Yeah.
It's like, don't lump everybody together, you know? And we don't.
Tepid Stripe says, I don't know how I feel about the phrase customer serviced over Twitter. I don't know either.
But that's what he did for, like, that whole, like, was like a several days stretch of, thank you for sharing what this. Yeah, it was, and like 3 paragraph tweets.
Well, and all, like, at this point, I think, like, 40% of them are one person.
Yep.
I think they're just enjoying the attention. So I'm like, Danny, like, at what point do you just hit, you know, block?
Yeah, it was that person. It was that person that said that awful stuff to myself and Mimi Tran.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's just jerk. And then somebody who thinks that they're so happy about the fact that I believe they actually said, I live rent free in his head. Like, they think that he thinks about them all the time. I'm sure he doesn't until it comes in front of his face.
Nope. Not at all. Do so. To Kanal's point, do some reading. Make sure you read the website. Look at the warnings that he puts up. I mean, it is on there clear as day about, customs and not being responsible for customs feed.
Mhm.
You need to do your research. But it's a thing that happens for first time overseas buyers or international buyers.
Right.
No matter where they are. Now that we understand it, we know to, if we shop somewhere else, what's going to happen. What am I going to be dealing with?
Right. I mean, again, we are fortunate that we can buy these dolls and stuff without paying extra customs fees, as long as we're not spending
up to a point.
Oh, an exorbitant, right? Up to a point. We have a higher threshold limit than most places, but still. It's
Jenna says, too bad Twitter can't just throttle the jerks only. I don't think Twitter would have it would be like a tenth of the size.
Yeah. And it'd actually be fun, because it would just be people like Mark Hamill and Ryan Reynolds and stuff like that are amusing on Twitter.
So yeah, maybe things will be better with Threads. Who knows? I'm sure these type of people will follow Danny wherever. I mean, he gets them an email anyway. It's email. It comes through everything. So just realize, if you're ever find yourself needing empathy for Danny, imagine that you had to open 50 of those emails every day.
Yeah. I will say one of the nuance items of his response to that person was that he was he was in Malaysia on vacation drinking out of a coconut.
Yes.
As he replied, basically saying, "I really don't care what you think. I'm going on vacation."
And yet he's not. The man never stops.
Yeah.
Agara says, I make sure to keep it under 1,000 AU, and if we go over, happy to pay customs. That's, again, you just have to keep it low, keep it under your thresholds. Jenna says, if Danny gets Threads, I will get Threads. Well, get Threads, because Danny got Threads. He
activated it. Yep.
He hasn't done much other than here's a test or whatever, but he is definitely using it, and it is your Instagram account that you log in with. It's the same thing. So, all right. Well, that's gonna do it for us today. If you want to continue the conversation, be sure to check out the Discord at myladydisdain.com/Discord, and you can continue it with us in the general. We'll go in the general voice chat.
Yep.
So we will be there shortly. And in the meantime, I don't know what I'm doing here.
That's all for us. Bye.
Bye.